Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Miguel back again with another video, and today I have a Vivo phone. And the thing about Vivo phones is that I really haven't reviewed them, but I thought that I'd go ahead and make a debut with the V29e 5G. It's not a very interesting phone if I'm honest with you guys, but it does compete with a few lower mid-range or budget phones. So if you are in the market looking for a phone that is not really going to break your bank, then this is a phone that you should consider. And one of the things that I want to clarify here is that there's so many phones out there that are very similar when it comes to the price. They're so similar when it comes to the specs that it's really becoming difficult to make a decision. I may not have a lot to offer when I'm giving you these videos, but what I can do at least is give you guys the specs and kind of compare it with other phones that fall within the same range, and help you guys maybe make a decision of whether you should buy this or not. And then you also have to look at the geographical location, because a lot of these phones are maybe not available where you are located. So depending on where you are, this may or may not be useful to you. Now I'm going to go ahead and compare this with another phone that competes very well with this, which is the Honor X9b. Now I don't really have that one right now, but I did post a review about it a few days back, so you can go ahead and watch that if you want to. Let's go ahead and unbox this and see what we have over here. So as you can see right out on the box, we see that we have 256 gigs of internal storage and we have 8 gigs of RAM. This is the only spec that this is available in. You're not going to be able to get it in more RAM or more storage, and unfortunately this does not come with external memory options either. So right up front we have the phone. Let's go ahead and see what else we have in the box. We have, looks like, some paperwork, and as always we also get a silicone case, which is pretty common nowadays. We also get a pretty big charger. It's a very lightweight charger, but this can charge the phone up to 44 watts, which is pretty decent. We also have the USB-A to USB-C cable, and that's pretty much it. That's all we have in the box. If we look at the phone, the color that we got today is what Vivo calls this the rose gold color, although it's more kind of orange. It's not really the rose gold that we're used to see when it comes to the iPhones. It does have an aluminum side, which is very nice to see. No, actually this is plastic sides, and it does have a glass back and a glass front. So no aluminum sides, plastic sides, glass front and glass back. If we look at the camera models, we have two cameras over here. We also have a flash sensor over here, but we also have another flash over here which can be used to illuminate your photos. So instead of just putting one burst of flash, this will actually illuminate. If I had to describe this, this is kind of like a ring light, which is gonna give you a little bit of lighting if you are in a darker spot or a place where you don't have good lighting. If we look at the rest of the details, we have the power button and the volume rockers here, which are pretty clicky, which is something that I like. We also see that this is more of a squared, kind of like a boxy design, which I personally like because it's easier to hold in the hands. But it's not fully like a square edge design. It's kind of tapered on the sides, which kind of feels better in the hand, so it doesn't hurt your hands like a lot of other phones that have flat edges. And apart from that, we have a speaker here, we have the USB-C port, and we also have the SIM tray over here. On this side we really don't have anything, and we also have a microphone on this side. If we look at the display, this is probably one of the best features of it. So this has a full HD 6.7-inch AMOLED display, which does have adaptive refresh, so that's pretty good to see. If we look into the settings, then you have the option to actually change the display from 60 to 120 as well. And then you also have an option which is a smart switch option, which basically then does it automatically for you. So in other words, adaptive display. The brightness is pretty good as well. So this goes to about 1000 nits, which is pretty decent in my opinion. And I really like the way that the display looks, because the colors are pretty nice. It's pretty responsive. It's pretty crisp. So I think this is probably one of the best features about the Vivo phone. And then considering the price point, I really don't have anything to complain about this when it comes to that. But if we quickly go ahead and compare this with the Honor, then the Honor has a better display. It has, I think, a 1220 resolution display, which is obviously it's going to give you a better pixel density, so it's going to provide you with a little bit more sharpness when it comes to the display. And the brightness is also, I think it beats this one by about 100 nits or so. It's not really a deal breaker if you consider both of these. If we look at the performance, this also comes with a Snapdragon chip. Now this comes with a 6nm platform chip, which is the Snapdragon 695 5G chip, And again, based on this price, this is kind of like a lower mid-range phone. It's not really a high-end performance phone. If we look at the Antutu benchmark test, then it's going to give us around 442,000 points, which is I mean, not bad, but it's not the highest score that you'll ever see. And again, as I mentioned, the price point kind of justifies the score. If we compare this again with the Honor X9b, that also gave us very similar numbers. But the thing about the Honor was that that actually had 12 gigs of RAM, and it also comes with Snapdragon's 6th Gen 1 chip, which is a new chipset. It's based on 4 nanometers, so it's a little bit more efficient. But that one was, so the surprising thing was that it wasn't really a big difference when it came to the numbers. So that one gave us around 470,000 points. This one is giving us around 440,000 points. So it's not really a huge difference. So again, if you are comparing these two, if you are looking to buy those two, again, not a deal breaker if you consider the Vivo over the Honor. If we talk about the battery, I do have a little bit of a criticism there because this comes with a 4,800 milliampere battery. Now the thing is that, I mean, technically you can kind of call it a 5,000 milliampere battery, but it's really not a 5,000 milliampere battery, and a lot of phones nowadays have a minimum of 5,000. If we compared with the Honor, that comes with a 5,800 milliampere battery, so that's a huge difference. So that's giving you 1,000 milliamperes more when it comes to the battery life. So that's one of the things that I kind of had a little bit of criticism. The battery life is really not the best in this one. And then if you look at the chip, which is a 6 nanometer compared to a 4 nanometer, then you obviously are going to get a better battery life on the Honor. So if that's the deal, now that is one thing that can be a deal breaker for you. If we talk about the cameras, now this comes with a dual camera setup, and Vivo is this phone is kind of also advertised. I mean, at least on the website, it shows that this is a phone that's kind of oriented to take better pictures, and it's kind of based off of that. But this comes with a main 64 megapixel camera, and then it comes with another 12 megapixel camera as well. If we compare that to the Honor, that comes with 108 megapixel camera. You can compare them side by side, and the Honor is going to give you the better result. And Honor has been doing a really good job at their photography and their image processing and their colors, and it's kind of I mean, shocking to see in a good way the quality that Honor phones are actually putting out when it comes to performance. They're kind of underrated in that part. And this camera is not bad at all by any means, but it's not really going to give you the same results as the Honor. 64 megapixel main camera, which is pretty decent for everyday photography, social media. It's going to do pretty good there. The front camera though actually takes the points here because this has a 50 megapixel front camera, which is not really something that you hear about every day, and it's a pretty good result, I should say. Although it automatically has that, when you put it in portrait mode, it automatically starts to kind of beautify the image and kind of softens it, so which is something that I really don't like. But you do get HDR support when it comes to the camera and the video, and I think the colors are pretty accurate. So the front camera is pretty decent, and again, compared to the Honor, I think that one had a 16 megapixel camera, so this one actually takes the numbers there. I should also mention that you can't shoot in 4K with the front or the back camera, so that's also another thing that you may want to consider if you are looking to buy this phone. The Honor could easily capture 4K video with the back camera. This one can only shoot in 1080p at the maximum. Last but not least, if we talk about the pricing, where does this actually compare with the Honor? Now, that's one of the things, and that's why I wanted to kind of compete this with that, because the pricing is not really different. In fact, I think the Honor kind of gives you better value for money. So if we look at the price of this will cost you around $380 to the $400 range, which if we convert into dirhams, that's nearly 1,400 to 1,500 dirhams. If you look at the Honor, that is officially around 1,300 dirhams, which is really not bad at all, considering that that is the better phone. It has the better chip, it has the better battery life, it has the better charging, the better display, and the better camera. Then you have to, I mean, it would be kind of stupid to not buy the Honor. Now, not saying that this phone is bad by any means, but if you don't like Honor phones, then yeah, I mean, go with the Vivo if this is something that you want to buy. But the price is not really there, so you are getting a lot more phone when you're buying the Honor as compared to the Vivo. And again, nothing against Vivo, but just putting them side by side and giving you a little bit of a perspective of which one you should consider buying if you are in the market to spend between, let's say, 1,200 to 1,500 dirhams. I would without a doubt go ahead and buy the Honor. But again, that's up to you. That's your personal choice as well. Let me know what your thoughts are about this, and I hope it helps you make a better decision. Yeah guys, that's it for the Vivo V29e 5G. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.